All right. We're back, Bubba. What's up?
Chilling, man. Third time's a charm, right?
Yeah. People, watching this, listening to this, they don't know that this is our third time
Yes.
sitting down, which is funny. And I also thank you for being down to do it third time. But we'll maybe towards the end we can explain like why we're doing this third time. But you sing for a band called Whirlwind, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you guys are staying busy, which is cool. It seems like from the first time I saw you guys to now, from my perception, it seemed like things were a little just you guys were doing shows here and there, but now I don't know if it's because you guys are signed or maybe just because of the fan base is built up over time, but it seems now you guys are staying way more busy and actually doing a lot more cool stuff.
Yeah, dude, it's I don't know, like it was stagnant for a little bit, but like I feel like we put ourselves out there a little more. We've been working super hard, like consistently, like going to the space, practicing like every week, just trying to get better and better. And I don't know, it's just fun. Like just keep getting asked more and more to play shows, and I'm always down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And going way back to the first time that I saw you guys, it was it was at this spot. I don't know the name of it. It was in Long Beach.
Oh yeah, it was like right down the street. It's like some warehouse spot over off 15th and Magnolia, I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I went out there because Take It to Heart was playing, and Serenity was on the bill, and I just remember rolling up and everybody was talking about Whirlwind, and they were talking to me like I was listening about Whirlwind, but I was like, oh, this is the first time that I've heard about it, and saw some of you guys there, and I was like, oh dang, I didn't even know that there was like another new local band popping off. So can you talk about at that time what the band was like?
Yeah, like that was like I think our second show.
Okay.
So that was our second show, and it was supposed to be like an art show, hardcore show. Like our friends band, The Keeper, they were the ones that put it on, which I think now it's some members of Casetta, I believe.
Okay.
He like works at a barbershop right down the street. And Lemus was working with him at the time, and then we all just kind of were like, well, let's throw a show, like a good benefit show. And then that's how that started. But like for us, it was like it's hard like being a local band and just like putting your name out there and like just hitting up anyone, like try to put some shows out. And then I feel like once you kind of start playing like one show, it's a little stagnant for a little bit, and then you start getting asked to play like a third show or like a fourth show, and like then it just kind of hits the ground running. You know? Yeah.
I get why certain promoters don't want to give random bands a chance, but I feel like sometimes what's the hurt in putting on a new band trying to make it, because worst case. Those kids, get even more motivated, want to stick around and keep the band going, just gaining that experience to play shows and become a better band. But there's a lot of bands that don't get looked at by certain promoters, and then they have to kind of grind and go a different route and find these like backyard shows or find other promoters that are kind of on the same way, where they're trying to grow as promoters, just like they're trying to grow as a band.
Yeah.
Which is always interesting, because for me, as long as I've been around, like I'll still show up early.
Exactly.
If there's a show that I'm already going to and there's like bands on the bill that I'm not familiar with, I'm like, okay, like worst case, I show up early. I'm gonna be there anyways. But worst case, I just have to sit through some crappy music. But for me, it's always like best case scenario. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll find, out about a new band that I can tell has potential, or maybe there's new bands, that I don't know about that are already killing it, and I'm already stumbling upon new stuff. So I think it's very important to just go out of your way to support your local scene.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like that's like we played out in Pomona. I want to say the beginning of spring.
Okay.
And Like one thing that resonated with me big was like Braxton was there and he was like, yeah, like I want to make sure I check out all the bands. I was like, dude, that's so sick. Like you're in this big band, you know, like a couple big ass bands.
Yeah.
You know, like Shred Bundy, Wise, like Zulu, of course.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like he still makes it so where he's there at the beginning of the show checking out every band. And it's sick. It's like, you know, like everyone puts their ego aside and just checks out music. Like, not saying he has, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's dope to see that like people in big bands are still checking out like the opening bands.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, that reminds me of Scott Vogel, right? The singer of Terror,
Exactly.
legendary hardcore band. This guy is so in tune and keeps it real. I remember when my friends in Spaced, right? They're obviously way more established now. They just got signed to Rev. They'll actually be in California very soon. I remember because I'm friends with them, so they sent me their demo to check out. And I'm like, damn, this is sick. And this was right when Scott had moved back to Buffalo. I shot him a DM and I'm like, hey, like there's this new band from your area, like check them out. And he hit me back, was just like, yo, like I'm going to their first show. And I'm just like,
so sick.
Yeah, for someone like Scott Vogel, who's, you know, in this giant band, legendary status, for him to still, you know, checking out his local scene and already in tune before, you know, he already knew before I even reached out to him. So when I look at someone like him, I'm like, that's like a prime example of what someone in hardcore should be, right?
Exactly.
Like with all that status, notoriety, he still has no ego and is like super awesome, still down to even check out local bands from his area.
Exactly. And it's so sick. Like, and that's like what I try to do with like any show we play. Like I'm always there. I'm always trying to like stay there early or get there early, stay late, no matter what. There's some times where I have to leave a little early because obviously work.
Yeah,
you know?
that gets in the way for sure.
You know, like on a Tuesday at like 10, I'm just like, bro, I'm beat. But like, you know, just try.
Okay. And recently, you guys just played a show in San Diego. Can you talk about what that was like and who was on the bill?
Dude, that one was so much fun. It was this newer San Diego band, Sod. They opened it. That one, they blew me out of the water. Like I was like, damn, like these young kids are like really going for it. And then it was why am I drawing a blank? But it was like them. I want to say Dispersed was really sick. Detach played. That's who played after Sod. Detach played. Blew me away. I've been wanting to see them play for like a minute now. And then like got to catch their set, and I was just moshing the whole time. It was so much fun. And then we played, then Disperse played after, and then Major Pain, our little brothers, of course, like, you know, like love those dudes to death. And then Nowhere Safe also played, and they killed it. It was just a fun show. It was a great weekend, like a great day, like just to like go down and just hang out. And what better to do it with your friends? You know what I mean? Like, and like, yeah, it was hot, sweaty, a lot of fun.
Where was the show at?
National City. It's like that, like a VFW hall where like you kind of go in, and there's on the left, it's like a bar with like karaoke and stuff. And then you go in towards the right, there's like two doors, and then it's like this big open like space that they just throw shows at.
Yeah. You know, I reached out to a couple of VFW halls out here to try to book shows, and just got no response.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I like the vibe of a VFW hall, because that reminds me of like back in the day, my buddies out in the Palm Springs area used to book shows at like the Elks Lodge in Cat City. So that was like my earliest, like, you know, memories of going to like a VFW hall. And then even like going out to like the East Coast, they still do a lot of shows at VFW halls, which I think is sick. My friends in Vegas, you know, they got you know, shows at VFW halls. So it's just like, man, I see so many out here, and like, like they're like, I drive by one like, at work, like a couple times a week. I'm
Mhm.
just like, and it's funny, like that's the one that I haven't reached out to, but I'm just thinking, maybe I should reach out to that one. Maybe they'll be
Yeah.
the one to get back to me, because like I tried the one. There's one in like right outside the orange circle.
I was just gonna bring that one up. Yeah, like
Yeah, that was the one that I tried. I reached out to them for like 2 different shows, just because you got to think like that area is just so nice with the circle right there. There's
yeah.
so many options for people to eat, to go
Mhm.
chill, grab a coffee, whatever. And but also just in terms of like parking,
Yeah.
there's the structure, right? On
Yeah.
top of just the normal street parking, there's just like that brand new structure.
Yeah.
So like in my mind, like this would be a super awesome spot. So
Oh, for sure.
yeah, maybe I'll try again.
Yeah, and then there's like something about like venues like not having a stage that's like super sick.
Yeah, floor shows. It just gives you that little bit more of like a DIY feel.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love that shit. Like I don't know. I'd rather be on the ground, unless if it's like a stage. Like I'll still rock with my boys. I'll stay on the stage no matter how big it is. But like if I'm on the ground, I'm having more fun, just jumping around.
Yeah, it feels a little more personal.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and more recently, you guys got signed to Indecision Records, which is awesome because that label is legendary, right? They just celebrated 30 years.
Yep.
With, that crazy show. Can you talk about how you guys got on the label?
So pretty much, like we were actually talking about it the other day. Like Dave's been at like our like 3rd show, and we didn't even realize it. So he's like watched us grow.
Okay.
And like, I think like just him seeing, like he hit up Wowie and was asking like, hey, like I don't know like what your guys' plans are. Like, would you want to maybe like put something out through Indecision? And we're just like instantly just yes. Like Orange County, we're from Orange County. Indecision's from Orange County. Like it just makes sense, And it just, he sees something in us. Like we like met up with them. He told us like how he saw something in us, everything. I was just stoked. I was like, dude, like it felt like there's no big like major like what like contract or something. You know what I mean? It just felt more genuine.
Okay.
Than like bigger labels where they're like, oh, here's a contract. You have to do these shows and this. It's more laid back. Like, yeah, like we're pushing to record and everything, but we're trying to do it all in our own like space,
Yeah, and I think it's a good fit too, because when I look at that label, and obviously there's a ton of legendary bands before you guys, but with the more modern era of the label, I feel like he's picked a good crop of bands. Obviously, he's got you guys, Major Pain, In Time. Field of Flames just put out a record on there a couple years ago. Super sick band. So for him to still be active in the scene and scouting out like these younger bands coming up, I think it's really awesome.
Yeah, it's so sick. Like he's still going to shows. Like no matter how old you are, like it's still sick.
Yeah, when I look at someone like him, he's like one of those people where I'm like, okay, that's definitely going to be me, because he's got a couple years on me, but it's like I don't see myself stopping anytime soon.
Same.
It seems like the longer that I'm involved, I'm just trying to find more ways to support and give back, because obviously been doing the podcast for years, but now I'm sitting here doing these types of interviews with you, and we got some other ones coming up. It's I still have not like satisfied that like hunger for like my love for hardcore since like I first got into it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still chasing that high. Like I'm like 30, like still going to shows, still moshing, even though like my body hurts after. But it's still just like I still feel like I'm 15 all over again, just like running around having a good ass time.
Yeah, I don't feel that young, because when I was that young, I was like way more reckless, and I feel like these days I need more sleep.
That's fair, yeah.
Because I used to, stay out late and like, oh, there's a show, I got work tomorrow. I'm like, okay, as long as I can squeeze in like a power nap, like not even sleep, right? Like, if I can just squeeze in like a power nap, like I'll be good and I'll figure it out like after the show. But since I'm a little older, it's way harder to do that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, coffee's always good too.
You know, I frequent the best coffee shop in the world. It's called Insight Coffee, Buena Park. Please don't go there. I should not have said that on air. But I go
I
there.
might have to beg to differ.
Okay,
on
hold
that
on.
one.
We'll get to what you
Yeah.
think is, but I go there so often, and I do this thing. You know, summer, I'll just get this very specific tea that they make, which is like really good. And then after summer, so from like, you know, fall all the way till next summer, I'll get you know, a variety of different coffees.
Yeah.
But that's me trying to you know, feel the strength of the coffee. But I feel like my body is just so used to it that it's just another beverage at this point.
No, that's fair, dude. What is it? I'm running on like 3 coffees right now. Like,
Okay.
luckily, I'm blessed to work next to a coffee shop. Not the best one in the world, but a very good one.
Wait, so from where we're sitting,
Yeah.
there's a coffee shop.
Right here, right next door.
Okay. I'm curious, will they be open?
They close at 5.
Okay.
So it's good. It's not the best one,
Okay.
but it's definitely good. But it's like I just go over there, get an iced cortado, and
Okay.
just sit and chill, and then drink like 4 cups a day.
4 cups. Okay. Now I'm curious because here there's so many good coffee shops like spread across like the entirety of Orange County, right? There's just like a bunch. I'm drawing a blank. There's a spot in downtown Santa Ana that I used to go to because I used to get my hair cut on 4th Street right there, the American Barber Shop.
Yeah.
And I think like 2 or 3 doors down, there was a coffee shop right there, which I would, this was like my routine. I'd go get my hair cut. Then I would go to 4th Street Market, go grab a stoner burrito, but that place isn't there anymore. And then I would go get coffee, and then I would head home, or I'd go to like Disneyland or something. That was my routine. But yeah, there's so many good coffee shops.
Dude, is it which one was it? It was.
It's like I want to say it has something to do with like a moon, like not La Luna.
Oh, I know which one. They moved, so now it's next to the 4th Street Market.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's like in like a little like, almost like a co-op kind of like a clothing store ish, where like it's got like a bunch of little like, you know how like the old like the Orange Circle has like the like vintage stores where they have like their little like stations, and like everyone like sells their own thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but for like clothes.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's like kind of to the right of it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. Like since I stopped getting my haircut from my friend Chubb, big worm, super talented barber. Just because I stopped getting my haircut from him because I used to be able to just text him like, hey, like, you know, can I pop in? And he would accommodate me, but then got to the point where he's just like, hey, like, can you please go to the website? I'm like, all right, cool, like respect your craft. I'm down. But then it got to a point where it's just like he's booked like 2-3 months in advance.
It happens,
and
man.
I'm just like, oh shit, like this is crazy. Like I'm happy for him, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, he's doing very well for himself. But then it's like, all right, maybe I need to find like a low key barber. And then I went to Lemus for a little bit. But then I don't think he really wanted to color my hair as much as I wanted him to, because he wasn't that experienced with it. Like,
that's fair.
Like you know, no diss to him, but thankfully. At some point he tried pawning me off to Jake, who actually does my hair now.
Yeah.
But at that time I didn't feel comfortable because I didn't know Jake.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. This is like weird, whatever. But then luckily I met Jake through Booking Pop Free, and he was really cool. And then I asked him, I'm like, hey, like you do hair, right? And ever since then, Jake's just been doing my hair.
Super chill, dude.
Yeah. But so I don't get my hair cut anymore. So that's why I don't go to 4th Street Market anymore. And then, and then my favorite burrito spot from 4th Street Market closed. So I just was like, man, to make that drive, there's not much that I want like in that area. So I just don't really go out there too much.
Everything
anymore.
changed in there too. Like Munchies is gone.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I think like the last thing in there that I liked a lot, there was like a cookie spot. It was like right next door to the vegan spot, because I remember I went with my buddy Andy, who's vegan, and next door they just had these like really like it was like just like artisan like cookies, and you had the option of like, you know, having them put it in their little like mini like oven to like, you know, warm it up, and it was to die for.
There's nothing like a like nice warm hot cookie.
Yeah,
Like
and like
fresh.
I'd get like like 6 of them, so I'm like trying to eat them fast.
Oh yeah.
Because I want to have that freshness,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like I want to kind of go at a certain pace so I can enjoy it. So
Oh, yeah.
it's like this weird balance that I
Then
can
you
never
get the
figure out.
gnarly's heartburn.
I've never had heartburn.
Oh, lucky. I get it all the time.
Really?
If I eat too much chocolate or
Okay.
sweets, it's game over. I'm drinking a thing of Pepto-Bismol.
Okay, but you still haven't told me where you think the best coffee is.
It's a little place. There's 2 of them.
Or 2, okay.
It's a little place I like to call Play.
Play Coffee.
Play Coffee is the
Okay.
truth.
Okay. I know there's one in Fullerton, right?
There's one in Fullerton
Okay.
and there's one in Orange.
Oh, okay, Fullerton.
Um,
Okay, where in Fullerton? 'Cause I'm curious.
Downtown, like right next to Roscoe's, I believe.
I don't know where Roscoe's is.
It's like Harbor and Commonwealth, I believe. Right there, like the cross street. It's like on the other side.
Commonwealth. I'm trying to think. It's Commonwealth. I think my ops stay on Commonwealth. It's okay. I get off the 91, right? Doesn't matter which direction, right? You either make a left or a right. So you're going down Harbor towards downtown.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the left, just before Commonwealth. You know where like Black Alley or Black Cat,
what was
Records?
that sports bar that's on the corner? That's Commonwealth.
Heroes. There's
No.
like Heroes, Roscoe's.
Okay.
On the
People
other
listening probably don't know what the hell we're talking
Yeah.
about. But pull up Google Maps, you can get caught up. Okay, in relation to where, like Matador, is it like
on the other side.
so like behind?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like Matador, and then like there's like that salon next to Matador, and then there's Commonwealth, and then
Okay.
Harbor right there. It's on that side.
Okay.
You know where like that parking structure is, like across from the like to the, I want to say adjacent to the train station right there.
Yeah.
It's like right there.
Oh, okay. So like, cause like Two Saucy Bras is over there too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I know that area. Okay.
It's like kind of behind. It's tucked away, but it's nice. It's a cool little spot.
Play Coffee.
That or Coffee Drunk right in Long Beach. Those 2 are my hands down my
Okay.
2 favorite coffee
All right.
spots.
If I show up to Play Coffee, what's the move? What are they known for?
Volcano latte iced with oat milk.
What is Volcano Latte? That sounds interesting.
I don't know the ingredients. I just know it's really good.
Okay. But Volcano, that sounds like it should be hot.
It's bomb cold. Trust.
Okay.
It's fire. That, my personal favorite, I love the espresso tonic.
Okay.
The espresso tonic, they have like a little like citrus, like a little like orange peel in it. Perfect.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Coffee Drunk right down the street in Long Beach.
Okay. What do you get there?
I get the Instigator. It's like maple and like brown sugar.
Okay.
If I'm like, because I like really like bitter coffee.
Okay.
But if I'm feeling like sweet, like I'll get that or the Long Beach lemonade.
Ooh.
It's like espresso tonic with a little bit of lemonade.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Coffee Drunk.
It's like if you go kind of down Temple to 4th Street,
Okay.
and then it's on the right next to Hug Life.
Next to what?
Hug Life,
Hug Life. I never heard of that either.
all vegan ice cream.
Interesting.
The best.
I'm not a big fan of vegan food. We you know.
Yeah, we talked
Which I don't mind getting back into it, but there's Salt and Straw in downtown Disney, and once again, I'm hanging out with my buddy Andy, and shout out Andy, and he's vegan, so I'm always curious about the vegan options. And they used to do this strawberry sorbet. It was all like all natural ingredients. It was like strawberries, and they would use like a coconut water base. It was like I would get that over just the normal ice cream because it was so good. And normally, like I said, I'm not a fan of vegan food, but that shit was so good. And we went like a couple weeks ago, and it was like off the menu, and I was so pissed because I had to get. I just got like a chocolate ice cream or something, which is like fine too, but I'd much rather have like their like that specialty that they used to make.
Well, I feel like sorbets like are just like a little more like fresh. and like they just taste good. I don't know. There's something about like a nice like strawberry sorbet with like a little bit of coconut water.
Yeah.
Shit hits just right on a hot summer day. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm so happy. We're like summer's basically over because like technically summer's last day of summer is like September 22nd.
Yeah.
But I go based off the weather.
Oh
right?
yeah.
And like the high out here was hitting like 90s, which for some people in certain parts of the world that's nothing, but for us it's a scorcher. But now it's like when I'm looking at the high, it's just like like 70s, and I'm like, okay, this is why I live out here. This is why I love the weather, because this is like perfect weather. Like
wearing long sleeves in the middle of summer.
Yeah, yeah. When I walk outside, when it's like 73 degrees, that's like what I like my sweet spot. 73, nice, breeze, the sun's out. Oh my god, you can't beat living out here.
You cannot. I don't know. California's sick. I don't know if I'll live out here forever, but California's rad.
Yeah, it's nice. I feel like I'm, it's like late in life for me. So I don't think I would pick up and move like I did like in my early 20s. But I would like to experience like life in Pennsylvania.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Pennsylvania.
I want to go to the Midwest.
Okay, like anywhere in specific, or
not really, just like anywhere that like small town. I don't know. I'm not a big city guy. I like the small town, like slow life. Just cut hair, go to some shows, fly out for some gigs. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that vibe. I remember when I went to New York City for the first time, I was like, this is crazy. I did not like this.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we went on Long Island where I was like, okay, this is like more what I'm used to, what I like.
Yeah.
It's not as crazy.
Like that small, like suburby, like kind of.
Yeah, just when we're chill, because like I feel like as I get older, like I become like more antisocial.
Oh, for sure.
So it's just like, yeah,
I get anxious easily. Big groups of people, I get overstimulated. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna shut down for a minute.
Yeah, how do you deal with that? Like when you're performing, when Whirlwind has a gig.
How do I deal with that? I just kind of turn my back and then talk or like look down at the ground, and that's like the biggest thing. Like I'll always talk to anyone who comes up to like the merch booth or merch table, whatever. Like I'll, if anyone ever wants to talk to me, I'm always going to be there to talk to someone. But like when it comes to like big crowds, I'm just like, I shut down. I look down at the ground. I do whatever I can to like not think about the people there. But I'm working on it,
Yeah, no, for sure. I get it, because when I would have to like run the door when I was like booking their shows, it was just like, man, like I have to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
Dealing with like the people buying pre-sale tickets, or even just having to tell people like no cash at no Venmo, like straight up, like you got to give me cash. But also like there were some like fun parts, because like I always wanted to make sure everybody was having a good time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like I can't remember what gig it was, but there's this kid, and he came out of nowhere. I walked at the table, and he was just like, "Hey, this is my first time at a show." And I was like, what the hell? I was like, out of all shows going on ever, like why is this one like your first one? Like, how'd you find out about it? And he was just like, oh, I live up the street, and I come in here to shop, and I heard people talking about shows, and they told me about this one, so I looked it up, and here I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's crazy. I was like, all right, dude. And I was just like, you're here by yourself, which is awesome and brave, right, for this young kid to show up by himself.
For real.
Like, hey, go in there, have a good time. If anybody gives you trouble, come out here and let me know, and I'll handle it. But just, have fun and enjoy yourself. And then end of the night, the kid comes out. He's just so over the moon. He's like, oh my God, that was so much fun. I'm going to keep coming back. And I was like, dude, I'm stoked that you had a good time. Like, I'm happy that you found something that you like. Yeah, I'm like, come back anytime.
Exactly. Dude, that's like, I wish I could get that feeling back of like your first show. Like that was like, even like playing your first show too. Like that's another feeling I wish I could get back to. I mean, it's still like, I get it every time I play, almost like a little glimmer of it, but like just being at like a show like for your first time, like I think my first one was, I want to say it was a step ahead, and because I lived in the same neighborhood. Like one of my friends growing up, his brother was the drummer.
Okay.
He used to sing for Belay My Last when they had 2 vocalists.
Damn.
Yeah, he's the dude that showed me hardcore.
Shout out your Belinda.
I guess so, right? Hate that place, but
Belay My Last. That's
yeah, right.
I just get stoked when I run into people, or I talk to people who know about bands like that.
Oh,
from,
yeah.
like back in the days. That's crazy.
No, that's like Belay My Last. Like, so he used to drum for A Step Ahead, and
Okay.
then they broke up when Ricky did vocals for Suffocate.
Damn.
Yeah, that's like how crazy. And then
Okay, wait. Sorry to cut you off.
no, you're good.
Ricky, don't know him, but when like I was talking about my buddy Big Worm, so I've followed him so many different places because he was my barber for the longest time. I remember he was cutting my hair, and this is where he was like a teacher or an instructor at some place in Cyprus.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he was like, hey, he's like, I'm gonna cut your hair, it's gonna be free, but like it's gonna be like a demonstration, so like there's gonna be people watching.
Yeah.
And I'm like that's fine. Like I'm not complaining. I'm not paying for anything. And I remember Ricky was there, and I was tripping out. I was like, I used to sing for Suffocate. This is crazy. But I didn't say anything because I didn't know him, and I was just there to get my haircut. But I was just tripping out.
It's crazy. Like the pipeline between like barbers and hardcore dudes is funny.
It's deep. I don't know where it started, but yeah.
Who knows? But I mean, that's what I'm doing. Lemus too. Like
Eric's in the mix.
Eric, yeah. Love you, dog. But yeah, like so that was my first show.
Okay.
I can't remember who else played, but then the second one I went to was like Armed for Battle at Chain.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out Seventh Dagger, AFB. That was a vibe. I fucking I'm still straight edge, so I was around for like that whole Seventh Dagger wave when it was so cool.
Oh yeah.
Like bands like Tyrant, Rhinoceros. It was crazy, and they had the craziest merch that I would never wear, but I was just like,
oh, for sure.
But when I would see people wear it, I just thought it was the funniest thing.
Yeah. We went to Reno recently. Like we played a show out there. Like loved that place, and I was just like, damn, like be sick if I can like just listen to Armed for Battle the whole time I'm out here.
Yeah. I know that the singer went on to be like this amazing tattoo artist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he tattooed some of my friends because they used to play when I grew up in the Palm Springs area. Like they used to play the desert all the time, so like they built up this relationship with him, and they were into his like tattooing before he went on to whatever show he was on, and it was just crazy because. But it's also cool too to know that like after Armed for Battle, he was able to have success in something else.
Yeah. I think he do there was a band after Armed for Battle, wasn't it like Wolf X Whistle or something like that?
That sounds familiar, but like the only one that I remember was there was Codex Red.
Oh yeah,
which I can't. I think it was like the last bass player for Armed for Battle was like the vocalist.
Yeah,
I never really knew any of them, but I feel like once like that whole Seventh Dagger stuff just kind of like died off. Like I know obviously you said you guys just played there. Reno still has a scene, but they were known for like a certain type of hardcore, but I don't think that's just like a thing anymore.
Yeah, it was sick. Reno's rad. Shout out Reno. Shout out Impact for real. Love those dudes.
I've never been to Reno, which is crazy.
Reno's cool. It's like they have like the downtown, like where all the casinos are. But like when we were on that little run, and we just like hung out in a park like all day, tried Dutch Bros and realized how like ass Dutch Bros is.
That's the coffee.
Yeah. We talked about that last time, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I what's funny is like apparently there's like a thing where you go to Dutch Bros, depending on what color straw they give you is like there's like a meaning behind it. Like if they think you're like cute or ugly.
I wonder what the green straw was. I think that's the straw I had. Okay. Green or blue? I don't know.
All right. But apparently that's a thing. I'm not, I don't go to Dutch Bros. I don't think there's one. Is there one out here?
There's one. I think the closest one is in the IE.
Okay.
We pass it going to recording all the time.
if I'm going to the IE, I'm going to Baker's.
Yeah, Baker's is the truth. Like fuck, like we were talking about this last night. Like a couple of the guys like never had Baker's before. Like Maddie, I don't think have ever had Baker's, and he lives in Pomona. There's one in Ontario.
What the hell?
Get your shit together, Maddie.
Yeah. What did you guys take him?
Huh?
Did you guys take him?
No.
What?
He's got to figure it out on his own.
I would have been like, okay, this is what we're having for dinner. No questions asked. Because, yeah, whenever I'm in the IE and I'm like, okay, this is a nice excuse to go to Baker's.
Yeah.
There's so many times where I'm like, shit, I have to do this and Riverside, whatever. Yeah. I'm like, I know there's a Baker's everywhere. So
there was one right by my grandma's house.
Okay.
So we'd go all the time when I was growing up out in Norco.
It's so good. Yeah. It's just like everything's so fresh. Yeah,
it's better than Del Taco. I'm gonna say it.
Might be better than In-N-Out.
In-N-Out's not the sickest.
You know, I feel like people like In-N-Out's good just because like they have this like high standard, and it's always the same, right? Yeah. It's just like McDonald's. You go to any McDonald's in the world, it's gonna taste the same.
Exactly.
Just like In-N-Out, right? They're at this like level where like okay, the burgers all taste the same. They're good burgers, but they're not the best burgers.
No, exactly. Yeah. I'd rather go to like one of those like if I still ate meat, like I'd rather go like to like the charbroiled like corner spot, like the Fantasy Burger, like Golden Ox, you know,
like Angelo's.
Yeah, dude, those are 10 out of 10, the best, because it's like they might be a little sketchy because they have like a C or a B rating, but like it's always the truth.
Yeah,
you get a little bit of boo-boo guts from it, but like it's okay.
it's the local spot. Right?
Yeah,
you gotta support the local business.
Exactly.
That's funny. But damn, I'm still sure that he lives in Pomona, has never been a Baker's.
Dude, Matt, that's why I told him get his shit together.
Yeah, that is insane.
Like I get like like CJ Wowie. I think Wowie had I don't know, but like. The rest of the guys, they're all like, there's no Orange County ones, but like we used to just drive from like Orange County to the IE just to go to Baker's.
Yeah. See, I feel like in my like growing up in my hardcore career, right? It started where I grew up, obviously in the Palm Springs area, and then we made friends with this band from Moreno Valley, who at the time were like pretty well connected and were doing a lot.
Yeah.
So because of them, they kind of like taught us all about like the Inland Empire, right? So I like so I spent years just like learning about the Inland Empire and going to shows, going to so many of like the staples, of the Inland Empire, and then during that time, pop out to like LA, Orange County, and then it wasn't until like that chapter closed, the band decided to wrap up, and friendships aren't there anymore. Shit happens. So I ended up moving to Orange County, and then I feel like that's where I kind of like filled out, like learning all of, or as much as I could about like Orange County history, and then still going to stuff in LA and paying attention to what's going on there. So it's just like I kind of slowly migrated to like where I'm at now. But it's just like I'll never forget like how important the Inland Empire is. Because obviously, like they're still popping off. They've always been active.
Yeah.
And even now that there's, like that new venue, like Baseline.
I can't wait to play there.
Which is like super sick. Shout out Baseline. Shout out Wig Splitter. Wig Splitter interview coming soon. And then just like people like like you mentioned earlier, Braxton, who's always repping the Inland Empire. And it's always a cool spot for shows, and even like. You ask any like the current bands that have played there, shit's always going crazy down there.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Okay, but man, now I want to film a video with Manny going to Baker's for the first time.
Ooh, that would be sick. Yeah.
We'll hit him up.
He'd just be like, "Nah, that's crazy."
When's the next time you guys are recording? Because you guys are in the middle of recording right
now.
Yeah,
we're in the middle right now. It's pretty much like we're at the mercy of like our schedule and Caesar from Ashiki, Smoked, and like, IE. But no, yeah. So like whatever we can do, like that's like the way we're like, we'll go out like one weekend or do like a Tuesday late at night or whatever. I think we're almost done with guitars. I think it's just like a couple more songs left with strings and then vocals after.
Okay. All right. Maybe we try to coordinate it.
Yeah.
Maybe like the final recording or something.
Yeah.
Go out there and do like a Baker's video.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Cause like Maddie lives right next to one in Ontario.
Yeah.
A motherfucker.
Okay. When we wrap up here, we'll call him and we'll try to see what the vibes are.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Okay. And talking about recording, how many, or if you can speak about it, like how many songs is going to be on the next release?
We have 6 songs and like an intro too. So like technically 7 because that 7 songs like a minute long.
Yeah.
But it's sick. Like 6 songs, 6-song EP. Just like some of the craziest shit that I think like we've put out. In my opinion, it's like some like we finally like are going more towards our sound than like trying to be like, oh, let's take inspiration from this, but this time it's more like doing that but our way. Like we have like Maddie like wrote a song pretty much that's almost like a stripped down metalcore song, and then we have like straight hardcore songs and like just like a metallic hardcore. It's like all over the place. It's chaos, but it's like still like in the same realm of like the theme of everything.
Okay. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And is there a certain like, release window that you guys have?
Not that I know of yet, but we want to, I know for sure before the end of like either the end of the year or the beginning of the year.
Okay.
That's when like we should be releasing. It's just like all the getting the album art done, doing all that. Like we've been sitting on album art for a year and a half now. Not for like this one, but we've been sitting on like we had J Ruggs from Buffalo do some art for us like a while ago when we were supposed to do like a 6-song EP again. But then like the timing just kind of fell through. Like we got super busy and then everyone got busy like in their own lives. So we were just like, well, we'll put recording on hold. We did 2 songs, put them out as singles. And then now the songs that we have, we reworked. And then that's what's going to be like the album art wise. It's sick.
Okay. And for the songs on the record, these are all new songs?
New old songs, kind of. Like there's some songs that we've been sitting on for like a year now. And then just like fine tuning it. Like we'll write one thing and then rewrite it, then go back and then be like, oh, this is better. It's just those guys, they just get in their heads like, all right, we want to do this. And then we do it. And then we're like, what if this sound? And it just makes it even better. You know what I mean? Like I'm hyped on these songs. I can't wait for the world to hear them. It's going to be sick.
Yeah. And did it take for you guys to be on this label to, kind of step out and be like, all right, like let's, stop trying to sound like, XYZ band and let's try to, craft our own wave?
You know what's funny? Like it was mainly like from the get that we were just like, fuck sounding like, just like, don't get me wrong. I love hardcore, everything hardcore, but we were just like, I don't want to be like the stereotypical like hardcore band. You know what I mean? And it's just like, Brian's comes from like super gnarly thrash, like metal background. And then Wowie listens to literally everything. Like he listens to like Mayhem to Turnstile. You know what I mean? Like that's the spectrum of like the shit he listens to. I was joking with CJ. He's a spin kicking, or he's a spin kicker forced in a 2-stepping world.
Okay.
Because he loves beatdown.
Okay.
He loves beatdown, but then like loves like just Youth Crew too. And it's crazy as hell. Like me and him, like I feel like we're in sync of like the same shit we like. And then like CJ like always has some really good like influences as well. And then Maddie, it's just like metalcore. which adds like kind of like a little flair to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like everybody has like a, it's like you guys cover like a lot on like the spectrum of all these different types of music.
For sure.
Okay. And you guys have a pretty big show coming up in December.
Oh yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
But like sometimes like when I step back and think, it's always interesting when I think about that venue specifically, right? The Garden Grove Amphitheater. They're not like consistently doing hardcore shows, but when they are, it's always like one that kind of makes your head turn. Like, wait, what? This is happening in like the middle of like Garden Grove at this like, and I think it's strange enough, like with like its location, right?
Yeah,
it's like right at the tail end of like this like old like downtown area, and there's like literally like apartments across the street. It's like, this makes no sense, but it's always like really cool when they're actually like doing hardcore stuff. Yeah,
it looks a lot smaller, like from the outside than when you actually get in. But yeah, like this one's crazy. It's like if you were to tell me that I was gonna open for like Madball and Biohazard when I was like 15, I'd fucking laugh in your face. I'd be like, dude, you're full of shit.
So how does this show offer get like presented to you or to whoever like heard it first from the band?
So it got offered to us by Dave.
Okay. Shout out Dave.
Shout out Dave, for real. But like Dave asked us if we wanted to play this, and I told like our group chat, I was like, if no one responds in 5 minutes, just say we're down. Cause like there's no way that like we'd pass up that kind of opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Especially I feel like I feel like timing is like a big thing. So for you guys to kind of be on this like I feel like this come up part, right? You guys just got signed and you're trying to make as many waves as you can before this next record comes out. So when that does drop, you can kind of build off hopefully this like momentum from that.
Yeah, dude, I hope like I just hope we get to play more shows from this record. Like that's all I want to do. Like I don't care if we like, if we played first or whatever. I just want to play a gig.
Yeah, I think it's better playing first, right? You just get it out of the way.
Oh my God.
So you can just enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're stuck in the middle or you're like headlining, it's just like, oh, like there's like this kind of like anticipation or like this, you get anxious because
all the time,
like you want to have fun, but then it's like you don't want to get hurt, or it's just like you don't want to headline because like what if people leave? Like I always found that even like when I used to play in bands, I just loved like give us like the earliest we can play because I don't care, because I feel like people like you, they're gonna show up, and if people don't know you or don't like you, whatever, they're not gonna be there, or like the random lucky people that showed up early, they get treated to something nice. Like I remember used to play in this hardcore band, and shout out to my buddy Jeff Yuma. He booked shows in Yuma, Arizona. We were always late to his shows, not to be disrespectful, but like like they don't do the time change. So there was one point where like driving to the show, and he's calling me. He's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're like an hour out. What's up?" He's like, "Dude, we don't do the time change. Did you not think about that?" I'm like, "Oh, my bad, dude." And he's like, "You're gonna have the headline over Death Before Dishonor." He's like, "But just show up." And I was like, "All right." I was like, "My bad. I apologize. Like, we didn't do this intentionally." So we roll up to the gig. It's like our like friends from the area, Death Before Dishonor. Everybody went home, right?
Oh.
And they were like, Death Before Dishonor. Shout out Brian, super nice dude and super nice band. They were all willing to stay and watch us, which they didn't have to. But I remember we were late like 2 or 3 times, and then the one time we showed up on time, we played with like hoods.
Oh shit!
In this like park, and after we wrapped up, we're like breaking down our shit. A bunch of kids were coming up to us like, "Hey, like, why don't you guys play Yuma more often?" And we're like, "Dude, we play here. This is like our 4th time here, but we're just late and nobody sticks around because they're not too familiar with our name."
Yeah.
So it's like, thank you for wanting us to come back, but but we will. We've been here. But it was always just like those crazy times where it's just like we wanted to get it out of the way, just because like we've been there having to headline, which we never should have in the first place, but then it's just like, all right, like getting that early spot where we could just kind of get the like stress out of the way, right? Because it's
Oh,
a little
yeah.
stressful, right? Because it's just like, man, you want everything to go right. You wonder if people are going to actually, buy your merch or even care.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't know. Like that's why I'm stoked we're opening. Like we're playing first that Madball Biohazard gig because it's just like I'm gonna be stressed the whole time.
now, they like to do these big shows with like a lot of bands on the bill. Do you know, is it all going to be on main stage, or are they going to utilize the locker room?
I have no idea. I think they might be utilizing the locker room at least for like the first 3 bands.
Okay.
But like I said, I have no idea like any specifics. But like if I'm playing main stage, I'm gonna be fucking shit my pants. Like that's gonna be scary as hell. But I'm gonna have fun either way.
Okay. That's awesome. I feel like that's what's important is no matter what, you should go out there and try to enjoy your time because these opportunities don't always come around,
Exactly. That's why when we got asked, I was like, us? Like, you sure?
Okay. And a week or a little under a week from today, right? There's going to be a show actually right out there.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, which I've heard about. And I'm happy that it's finally announced. But can you talk about what that's going to be like for you guys?
All homie show. Like that's all it is. It's pop free, spirit dive, fucking us, Major Pain, stateside record release. There might be some little things here and there from stateside. I've heard some rumors.
Okay.
Can't say nothing.
Okay, yeah, because this will be out before the show.
Oh yeah.
So
it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, see, but I'm just curious because, like, obviously I've heard about shows happening here before.
Yeah.
But when I'm walking, through the place, there's a lot of glass. It seems like a lot of breakables. How do you guys avoid anything getting broken?
So the way we're gonna set it up is, I think we were actually just talking about it last week. Everyone's gonna walk in through the alleyway, and then come through the back pretty much, and then the merch is gonna be the front doors where the big glass windows are.
Okay, so nobody's gonna be moshing.
No one's gonna be moshing in there. Like, obviously mosh, have fun, but like respect the place too. You know what I mean? Like this is where we make our money. This is like, it's our bread and butter, like this is our baby. We love this place. We don't want anything bad to happen to it. But like, luckily it's just like the heavier bands are us and Major Pain. So it's like mosh to chill. It's going to be like a good equal amount. But it's just going to be fun. Like, make sure, like, I think we're going to push all the barber chairs in. So that way no one really like sits on those chairs. No one messes those up because those are from like the 40s and the 30s too.
That's all. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Like I think the newest chair besides the 2 that me and Lemus use, the newest one's from the 60s.
That's wild.
Yeah. So it's like finding parts is few and far between.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that show's gonna be sick. Like we've had shows here before. We kind of like had to put those to a pause because it was like unregulated, I guess. Like the like people who should have been here weren't here, and then like we have like events here, like here and there, like not back to school. Like garage sale kind of stuff where like everyone sells like the barbers to sell like stuff from their house that they just want to get rid of, But this is gonna be like the first hardcore show here, and probably the last one. I don't know. I'm not gonna say for sure because who knows.
Well,
but like,
makes it sound like something bad's gonna happen.
No, nothing bad's gonna happen. Right. Knock on wood. But no, it's just like we just don't want it to get out of hand. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna all be there. Like everyone from the shop's gonna be here. Make sure everything runs smoothly, but like it's still just stressful. You know what I mean? It's like opening up your doors to like.
Yeah, you don't want somebody like these walls to catch like a stray fist or foot.
Exactly.
Because it's nice out there.
Yeah.
That's why when I heard about it's popping off at the lodge, I'm like that's crazy.
Well, it's like every venue we tried to do it at like kind of fell through. And like we're just like, you know, fuck it, let's just do it here. Just do it at the shop. Who cares? I mean, obviously, like we do, but like,
for sure, yeah.
But like, who cares? Like, this is our place. Like, why not just have a good time?
Yeah. And I really do like the fact that you know, it's all homies on the bill.
Oh yeah.
You know, and like yeah, from top to bottom. But and also it's like, damn, I hate that I like every band on the bill because it's gonna be like you know like exhausting.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's just like, you know, so much fun from like start to finish. It's like, man, what, like there's like no breaks because like, you know, you go to a show this maybe band you like or you've seen enough times where you just want to chill, but it's just like, yeah, I love every band on the bill. And when you look at it from like, you know, top to bottom, it's like, cool, this is like this like current wave of like kids who've been like going to shows for a long time, been supporting, you know, the scene for a long time. So for that, like for everybody to be on like their own wave coming up, right? Because every band is active, every band's you know putting out new stuff, touring. It's a really cool thing to look at that flyer, like, damn, like all those bands are respectively doing their own thing, you know, and like kind of just bringing this whole new generation. And even if you look at like their fan bases, right? Like there's so many young kids, and it's just very cool. It's
like, I feel like whoever fucks with us obviously fucks with Stateside, obviously fucks with Major Pain, you know, like it'll be like that opening like for like people who like haven't really listened to like Spirit Dive, because like I think Spirit Dive rips. I love like that band, and even Pop Free. I love Pop Free too. Like I love all the bands that are playing, so I'm like, I'm excited to see my homies play that I don't get to see play that often, because I think the last time I saw Pop Free was at Program.
Yeah. What show was that? It wasn't the Ankle Biter show, was it?
No, it's escaping me right now. It was a minute ago, though.
Yeah. I like that's one band that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
But you know, Kenny vouched for them, and I booked them, and I was like surprised. I was like, damn, this band's actually pretty sick. They have like a lot of potential. So like that's like a band where I remember, where the hell was I? I think I was somewhere in Long Beach. Was it Long Beach? I like saw a band, and then I think I saw Major Pain, and then I dipped out to go see Pop Free like at Program. Yeah, I think I was in the locker room and then went to Program.
Okay.
And I remember a lot of people were like, "What are you doing here?" Like, I'm here to see Pop Free.
Yeah.
And they just like resonate with me. Where like, like I'll go out of my way to see them just because I like their music and I want to see them, you know, continue to have like success, and I want people to know about them.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny because a lot of people are doing double duty that night.
That's crazy. Yeah, I know. Your members, right?
Yeah.
Well, they get a little break in between, right?
Oh yeah, so it's like us, then it's like Pop Free because CJ's he's drumming for Pop Free now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, okay. Dude, I'm hyped for that one because I know he loves like playing music like that too. So it's like it's perfect for him, you know. And they all get along together. Like, and it's cool too because we all practice in the same area. So it's like, because Pop Free is like right around the corner. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, they in the same building, but just like down the hall.
Oh, I know.
So it's like CJ will practice for Pop Free and then come for us like while Major Pain's practicing. Okay. So it's like.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. But like that's what I mean. It's an all homie show. It's like it reminds me of like back when Fury and like Forced Order and all those bands would play Program. It's like the same like 10 dudes in like 4 different bands.
Yeah, and look what they did, right? They worked hard to put on for the scene, and you know, unfortunately, Forced Order is not a band anymore, but Fury still, like, when they do stuff, like, people pay attention.
Best band of Orange County, dude.
I think so. They're so good. I love that band.
Yeah,
that's a band. When I talk about Orange County hardcore, I'm like, yeah, Fury's from here. The good representation of like music and just, you know, being just like good for the scene, right?
Yeah, even like Discrepancy. What the fuck? There was other bands that like Enough Said. Like obviously Forced Order. even though it's like Whittier, like that weird like Orange County.
Yeah, but they're always a program. Like remember, the last time we did this, I was showing you that turnstile video, and we were pointing out like all the people who are in those bands, just all over programs.
Yeah,
it was insane.
So sick. So much fun.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to new music. Hopefully, either end of the year or beginning of next year. That's coming up really soon, right? Because it's crazy to think that we're smack dab in the middle of September. It's like like what happened to August. I feel like summer just kind of flew by.
Yeah. Which
I'm okay with. I'm not the biggest fan of the heat.
I like the cold, man.
Yeah, same here. But I'm stoked on that. Definitely stoked on the show that's happening next week. And that
hell yeah, dude.
That's gonna be so sick. But before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to say?
I'm trying to think. What did I say last time? No.
I couldn't tell you. I know, right? It wasn't recorded.
Just do it. If you wanna start a band, do it. Like, get some of your homies, fucking start a band, rip some shows, go to some shows, meet people, have a good time. Come to the show here at the lodge. That one's gonna be sick. Saturday.
What time?
I think it starts at 7.
All right.
But it's gonna be great. It's gonna be, start a band, have fun. I don't know.
Yeah. Support your local scene. That's
exactly. Yeah. Support your homies.
Support your homies. But all right, Bubba, this is for the 3rd time.
Yeah, right.
Right, thank you.
That's real.
Thank you. And we'll do it again soon. We really gotta make this Baker's video.
Yeah. We're gonna make that Baker's video. I'm gonna call Maddie right now.
He's gonna call Maddie. We'll figure it out. But thank you everybody for your support. We'll be back soon.